Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Chris, the Critical Nerd, and today I'm diving into what's become a massive controversy overnight. I mean, wake up, check social media, check the news sites, and people are in an uproar. And I'm talking about Andor Season 2. Yeah, it just dropped its first 3 episodes over on Disney Plus. And one scene in particular in episode 3 has fans, needless to say, livid. We're talking about an attempted sexual assault scene. Yep, you heard that right. In Star Wars. And got to ask the question, is this a bold new direction for the franchise, or has Disney crossed the line? So let me break it down, look at the fan reactions, and I'm going to share my take. So don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my content, and let's get this ball rolling, shall we? Andor Season 1, it was a critical darling. It was a critical success, praised for its gritty, mature take on the Star Wars universe. Now, it was by no means a ratings juggernaut, but it did build in a loyal fan base with the slow burn storytelling and deep dive into the rebellion's roots. Season 2 promised more of the same. But one thing that wasn't expected in this series, especially this early on, and that's what happened in episode 3, season 2. And this is a bit of a spoiler alert, so if you haven't seen this yet, I'm going to give you a couple seconds to pause and fast forward through this. So, in this episode, Bix Caleen, played by Adria Ajorna, is hiding out on a farming planet called Minarao. She's an undocumented refugee, and an Imperial officer, Lieutenant Kroll, knows she's not supposed to be there. He tries to leverage this, offering to keep quiet if she sleeps with him. Bix refuses, and things get ugly. He corners her, tries to force himself on her, and it turns into a brutal fight. Bix fights back, smashes him with a wrench, and deletes him. She then screams, "He tried to rape me," marking the first time the word rape has been uttered in Star Wars history. Now, to me, this scene isn't graphic like you would see some like Game of Thrones, okay? It is intense, but it's not explicit. There's no nudity, no prolonged assault. It's a fight sequence where Bix comes out on top. And I know this is going to sound controversial, but this is how I interpret this scene. But the fact that it's in Star Wars, a franchise many see as family friendly, that is what sparked this firestorm. Fans are split. Social media blew up this morning after the premiere. Some fans are furious, saying this kind of content doesn't belong in Star Wars. They argue it's a kid's IP and that Disney's pushing boundaries way, way, way too far. One fan called it filth and demanded everyone involved be fired. Others pointed out that Star Wars has always been an escape from real-world horrors, and this scene feels out of place in a galaxy with lightsabers and droids. Now, there's the flip side. Some fans are defending the scene, saying Andor's whole point is to show the gritty, ugly reality of living under a fascist empire. They argue that sexual assault is a real part of war and oppression, and ignoring it would be sugarcoating the empire's evil. One fan on X said it's important to show how undocumented people are preyed upon by those in power, especially in today's political climate. What's wild is how Disney has leaned into the controversy. Instead of downplaying it, they ran interviews and articles calling this a milestone. This is the first attempted sexual assault in Star Wars. And that's rubbed some fans the wrong way. Like, Disney's proud of shocking people. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Some fans are acting like this is totally new for Star Wars. That's not the case. If you've read the Expanded Universe, you know the old novels and comics, sexual assault has popped up before. Take Boba Fett's backstory. His young wife was raped by a superior officer, and he deleted the guy, leading to his banishment. There's also a story where a friend of Luke Skywalker stops an Imperial guard from assaulting a prisoner. These are dark, mature themes that predate Disney. And let's not forget Return of the Jedi. Princess Leia's enslavement by Jabba the Hutt. That's straight up sexual assault. Jabba licks her, kisses her against her will, and forces her into that metal bikini for his own creepy gratification. The 1983 novelization makes it even clearer, saying Jabba has a human fetish and enjoys the pleasure of her company. So the idea that Star Wars has always been pure and kid-friendly, that's a bit of a myth. What's getting overshadowed in all this outrage is Andor's broader message. The show's creator, Tony Gilroy, has said the scene was meant to show the realities of war and how power corrupts. He even made a controversial statement saying the history of civilization is rape to justify its inclusion. That quote didn't sit well with everyone, but it shows Andor's aiming for raw, uncomfortable truths. Andor is not just about laser battles. It's about how the Empire crushes the little guy. The first 3 episodes hammer this home with heavy-handed political allegories. The Imperials aren't just hunting rebels. They're deporting undocumented workers, mirroring real-world immigration crackdowns. Some fans are calling it Trump allegories, saying it's too on the nose for Star Wars. But honestly, that's getting way less attention in this Bix scene. So, here's my take. And this might not be a very popular opinion. The scene in question, I don't think it's as shocking as people are making it out to be. It's intense, sure. But it's not gratuitous. It's not graphic. There's no groping or nudity. It's a fight scene where Bix fights back and wins. As I mentioned earlier, it's not like Game of Thrones. Upon reading social media and the news articles, I thought it was going to be some horrific, again, Game of Thrones level scene. But to me, it's a fight scene. And the outrage, I think it might be a bit overblown. We've seen sexual assault in Star Wars before. Boba Fett, Jabba, and Leia. So acting like this is brand new feels like kind of a disconnect. Now, I'm all for Star Wars trying different things. I think it's okay to make kid-friendly shows like Young Jedi Adventures. I'm totally fine with mature, slow-burn shows like Andor that tackle darker themes. But here's the thing. When you make a show like Andor that's not for the general audience, you cannot spend $300 million on it. That's right. The budget for season 2 is $300 million. And I think that is a huge misstep. This show isn't for everyone, and the massive backlash over this scene just proves it's not resonating with the broader Star Wars fan base. And honestly, I think fans are focusing on the wrong thing. The scene itself isn't the problem. It's the heavy-handed political messaging that's the real issue. The Trump allegories. The on-the-nose deportation stuff. That's what's dragging Andor down. Disney's trying to make a point, again, the message, but it's alienating fans who just want a fun space adventure. And don't get me started on how Disney's hyping this as a milestone. That feels tone deaf. Like they're proud of stirring up drama. If you want to talk about something offensive, Disney's done way worse to George Lucas's legacy than anything in this scene. Look, Andor, its goal is to show why people rebel. How the Empire's evil pushes folks to their breaking point. I get it, and I think the scene fits the vibe. But Disney, they're walking a tightrope here. They've got to balance mature themes with the magic of Star Wars, and right now, They're leaning too hard into the message. They're leaning too hard into the real world politics. Star Wars is at a very weak point. They're at a low point. I mean, take Ahsoka, The Acolyte, Skeleton Crew. Those shows didn't exactly set the world on fire. Andor needs to be a hit. And this controversy certainly is not going to help that cause. So what do you think? Is Andor Season 2 pushing Star Wars in a bold new direction, or did they go just a little bit too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going. If you enjoyed this breakdown, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and check out my other videos that I do here on a daily basis, Monday through Friday. And with that, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later.